mind. I can see the passion and the inspiration. And I can also see a little bit of heaviness because the projects need to be grounded in information and evidence so that you can work on that. Sit down on the shoulders of that to develop your innovation. Okay? So I'm starting to see a little bit of slowing down on the project. And what we want to do today, so I've invited Richard, who's the environmental science subject librarian, and Jeff. You may know him. He's a librarian for built environment.
Yeah, and architecture as well.
And architecture.
2 schools.
One of the key links that you need to make as a student is to be able to access really good information. There's so much information here. One of the key reasons you pay tuition is to tap into the machinery of all this knowledge that we've generated over thousands of years. Okay? Now, we have this sort of quickness of going to Google and getting things. But there's a lot of, let's say, vulnerabilities to the kind of knowledge you get in general spheres. So what we want to give you is access routes to appropriate, peer-reviewed, solid information, so that when you grow your innovative project, it's based on really solid foundational things. Okay? Now, in our discussions with Richard and Jeff, we've gone through the project and we know the areas. And what we're going to do today to teach you how to make this connection is we're going to go through some of them and show you the avenues. And we're going to go through some of the projects to show that route. Okay? So I think a good idea is if you follow along on if you have a laptop or with someone who has a laptop, try to follow along on those routes, because if you do it mechanically with your own hands, you will remember it more than if you just watch it. Okay? So please ask questions, and if you can give us some insight as to why your generation is not really using the library. It's a bit of a tragedy, and we need to address it. So that's really what we're here for today, is to strengthen your capacity and your confidence to do that. Okay? So it's very interactive, ask questions. And so thank you. Thank you both.
Okay. Just before I kind of start, I just want to find out where you are with the library and what your concerns about using it. Are you all using the library? Who's not using the library? Can you find books? Have you been able to find books on the library? Who's not been able to find the books they need on the library? No?
Okay, but it doesn't show up in their assignments, and they submit things, and there's only websites.
These are
None
books.
of them are.
These are books. This is a selection of books. You can have a look at them later. These are books relating to your topic area. You have books in the library, and you probably could get by with doing the project by this books. These are journals. Journals. That's what we mean by journals. They're not some kind of complicated, inaccessible text, and they're fair. On the whole, some of them are pretty well written. This one's New Scientist. I read this every week. This is pretty good for this kind of topic. You can go down to the library or browse. We've got the online version of this. Don't be afraid of using these. Don't go, you can go to Google, but really, you should be using the stuff that we paid for these. This is stuff we paid for. So, and it's high quality. You're getting really good marks for this assignment. So think of making use of these. And these largely, I've got Scientific American. That's another really great one as well for this kind of topic. You should be looking through them every week, going down into the basement area of the library, and they're on the shelves there, and you can have a look through. They've got sort of contents pages and so forth. So think of using the real physical object. Also, books have indexes in them as well. You don't think of going to the shelves. If you've got, that's a shelf mark for this particular subject. Yeah, this is a book by Freeman Dyson. Now some of you are looking at the Dyson sphere, for example. I mean, you could go to this area of the library. You've got a shelf mark there, 530.02.924. You can go there and just browse along the shelves of the library. It's not to be said for that. So think of that. Another great one. This is a book on cider. Some of you are doing. Who's doing the vernacular cider project? This, I think I had an email from you last week. I could have answered the question very quickly. But this tells you all about cider making. This is a wonderful book. It's in the National Brewing Library. You can't take it out of the library. It's there as a reference item. But the special collections, that library is open from 1 till 5 every day. And you can go down there and make photocopies relevant a bit. Also in the National Brewing Library, we've got this, which looks at water analysis. So we've done it. I've done it for you. I've got the two items you need to do that project. So, I mean, the one thing about cider production, is there anything you found out about cider production, what you've done?
Bloody difficult.
Why?
Why?
It was quite hard to do.
This is a Haynes manual which we have. The Haynes manual made motor mechanics for those of you that's interested in cars, old cars. You know, you can buy Haynes manual, repair your car, and it explains very simply, in very simple language, how to make cider. There are pictures in this book that talk you through the process. It's much better than doing it online. I mean, you might find a YouTube video, but I think this, for me, it tells you about the history of cider. It gives some really good quality information. And this is something that you could quote and use to reference these things. This is in the National Brewing Library. And I'll show you how I found it in a short while. But that, and this is one thing about water analysis. Now, you would get any basic recipe book about cider, and you don't actually use water in your cider making. You don't add water to the apples. I've given it away. I've given you I've given you a real big clue here. So the water that you'd be using would be to clean the equipment. So you need to go down, have a good think about what you're doing, use these books, and really figure out how you're going to set up the whole operation. I think it's I'll give you a little clue. I've got an allotment with an orchard on it, and I only took it over last year. I got taken by surprise. There's so many apples, produced so many apples. I didn't know what to do with them. I couldn't eat them all. I tried juicing them. So this year I've come up with an idea to make cider sustainably. That's what I'm going to do. In August and September I'll be collecting all these apples, even some of the rotten ones because they're good. And I'm going to crush them and I'm going to squeeze them and extract all the juice. I'm going to make cider. I found out how to make cider. It's a very simple process, I can assure you. But you need to read up about it. I only know about that because I've read up about it. I had to do research first to think about how I'm going to set up the project. And it's a great project. If you're thinking of setting this up and you're successful, well, you can give up your studies here and now, go out and make your fortune setting yourself up with a small cider brewery. You know, so there's money in it. Anyway, I've got my information through books.
But can you show us how you got that information? Because
that's exactly where I'm going now.
that group was laughing. That group was laughing. So just let me say, they were laughing when we showed the book. Oh, ha ha ha! I know what a book is.
Yeah.
But they didn't see these books.
No.
Which creates a difference between you actually having a project and not having one.
Yeah.
So why didn't you find these books?
I don't know, we tapped into Discover.
Yeah, so that's good. That's the problem. So can you show us
Okay,
how you
right.
got
If you're
the
just
book?
looking for books, yeah, Discover's, you could find the books through Discover, but you also trawl through the whole of the library collection. So you're ending up with technical reports, videos, DVDs. You're ending up with papers for this, that, and the other. But for books, probably the best thing to do is go to the library homepage, and you're familiar with this. You've seen this before, haven't you? So we type in cider making. Let's type in cider making. See what it comes up with. See what we've got on cider making. And there, you have it straight away. If you type in cider making, the thing is, I mean, you've got it. It's done for you. And the thing is, we have them there in the library. So we find out where it is. Where is this book? So cider making. We click on there. And it says, yes, one available at the National Brewing Library. It's giving you a shelf mark. So you only need to make a note of that one shelf mark there, 663.2. And you'll probably find some others there as well. But, and if you notice on this, the spine of this book here, it's 641.229. So there's another area. So you want to scroll down. Don't leave it there. Have a look down. See what. There's another one on principle, and that's 663.2. So we've got it all there for you. If you want to make a note of this, this is a slightly different shelf mark. If you want to look at this later, make a note of this. This one's called cider 50 BC onwards, and the shelf mark for this in the Brewing Library is 641.229 BRA. And this will be in the library this afternoon. You can come down to the library this afternoon and use it. So we also have so that's it, how to find books to do your project. Also, water quality. We're looking at water quality. So what I'm coming back to is this group would like to raise awareness of the value of collecting rainwater by using the creative Badacco cider from Oxford. They will study the pollutants in rainwater in Oxford and how to clean it. They will study how to make cider using local apples. They will make it and test it. That's just a kind of guide to get you going. Yeah, I think what you can do is you can get a book on water quality and then test it yourself using the information. I got this book, Safe to Drink, Water Quality, and I've got this one from the National Brewing Library. This is water analysis. It's there, and what we can do is we can go back to the catalogue, and we can just type in water quality, something like that. And there's a lot of books on water quality we have in the library. You just have to choose the right one, the one that you feel is the best one to use.
Should we do another?
And you can, yeah, there's something else I want to show. National Brewing Library, you can just have a look, see what they got on water quality in the National Brewing Library if you want it just for kind of brewing, so we can click on there. And that's picking up water quality. We could put in water analysis. I'll just show you how this works. Just think about your keywords. Interchange your keywords. You're going to find different stuff using, related to it. And National Brewing Library. There you are. Are you all clear? I've just used this as a case study. I mean, I haven't done the work for you. You've got to synthesize it. You've got to find the books and synthesize this information and think about it and present it in the appropriate way.
So, can I just interrupt for a second?
Yep.
So, Paula is here, Paula Sessi. So she's the environmental science lead in architecture. And she's going to be talking to, I just made up that title. She's the environmental sustainability expert and works in architecture as an architect. And she also has a personal project like A1, Group A1. So if we could look at some of the food stuff that you brought up, and then Group A1 and B2, yeah, would you talk to Paula? Okay, so you could go to the back. But you need to watch also what Jeff came up with. And then you get double whammy. Concurrently. Concurrently, yeah. We'll look at what Jeff came up with for the nutritional stuff. And can you show us the avenue? Because that's the
Sorry.
The food ones.
I haven't done anything with the food.
Okay.
I've used this as a case. If you want, my colleague Richard will
Okay.
will happily
There you go.
look at that. So that's
Great.
Richard's the science librarian.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Whoops. How many of you doing food? Food issues. Okay, what's food here? Any other group doing food? No? Anyone else doing food? Food issues? No? Okay. So in terms of food, I could type in the keywords into the library catalogue. So food, sustainable, food system, just keywords that come into my head, yeah? Reading your description, that's the kind of impression that I got, yeah? And have a look at the results down here. And you can see we've got a number of results down here, and you could limit your search to just ebooks if you wanted to. But you could click on one of the ebooks just to show you now rather than going to the library, and then you can access the resource here. Okay, so that will give you an idea of an ebook with all of the chapters: context, challenges in food systems, consumption for consumers, food systems. And you just choose a chapter. So this is, look, methods used to assess food sustainability. Yeah? They're just chapters in a book. It's just like going, we've got the physical book as well in the library. You can just borrow it, sit together, open it, go to chapter, whatever chapter this was, chapter 10, and you can have a read. And if I just open up the PDF here, and make this bigger for you, you can have a look at food systems. Okay? So this will break down. There's an example of a breakdown of a food system for you, look. Okay? So you can see the kind of energy that goes into producing food. So that's an idea. For instance, that's a model. You could just photocopy that page, and it'll give you an idea of all that's involved. For example, you need machinery, fertilizers, pesticides, diesel to transport the stuff, breeders, production, so they produce eggs and chicks. Well, you've got to grow them, the chicks, feed them, etc. So you can see here, you need to feed them with all of these things here. You need electricity to process the material. Okay?
Okay, sorry, I forgot. Hello. Hi, sorry, other than the chat. Sorry, please listen. This isn't just about finding this particular material. This is about how you use the library to find material that you need, okay? So if you just listen to this pathway, then the four of us will go around to the different groups to help you and to find out what you found and to help you find those things, okay?
Okay, so you could see this took 60 seconds to find. Why? Because we went via the library catalogue or through the Discover service. The pathways that you choose rather than using Google. Honestly, how many of you, what do you do to find information? I'm just repeating Jeff's question, but can you just answer me just in the next 30 seconds? How do you find information? What do you use? Google. Google Scholar. Okay, anything else? Okay, how many of you use... Sorry?
Old coursework.
Old coursework. Okay, great. Yeah. Anything else?
Carrier pigeon.
Carrier pigeon. Did you say carrier pigeon? No. I'm going mad. Okay. Anything else? Okay, can I just ask, how many of you have used the advanced search function in Google? The advanced search function in Google. Please tell me, at least some of you do use that. Okay, it's really, can I just give you one piece of advice? You're studying a course at university now, foundation level. You're only going to go to years 1, 2, 3, and eventually to degree level, and then maybe studies beyond. Google is inefficient. It's very good at finding certain types of information, but it's a very inefficient and ineffective way to find things. If you use the advanced search function in Google, you can save yourself a lot of time and you can find information that's appropriate to the level that you're at. Okay? Now the foundation of all of this that we're looking at today is the routes to finding information. Those more astute amongst you would have probably picked up already. Go via the library catalogue to find books. Use Discover to find books and journals. And we'll look at that in just a second, maybe for this topic, just to give you an idea. And maybe use Google Scholar, and maybe the advanced search function in Google. Can you just tell me the difference between Google Scholar and Google? Anybody?
Scholar goes out into the journals.
Goes without the journals, thank you. Brilliant. Yeah. Okay. So we'll look at all those things in the next 5 minutes, just briefly, and Jeff might want to come up and say a little bit more. But just for this topic, do you see this diagram here? Okay. Yeah? For the food group, looking at this topic, food packaging, and they're busy focusing on their computers now, trying to reproduce this. Do you see this diagram here? You're looking at the energy systems to produce food. This is a one-page diagram. You have a whole book with information around this, describing everything in detail and giving you all the background information. But this one page sums it up really nicely. You can see there if you're producing food. Do you see the amount of energy, the amount of work that goes into producing it? Yeah?
Body energy.
And that's just a book via the library catalogue, typing in 3 words: food, sustainability, or production. Whichever one. It doesn't take a genius to think, oh, what's my topic? Well, it's about food, and maybe production, and maybe sustainability. The trick to finding information in your topics, by the way, is thinking about the words, what the key words of your topic. Because these words that you type into these computer systems, into Google, into the catalogue, into Discover, now the quality and number of results that you're going to get depends on the keywords that you're going to choose to best describe your topic that you're looking for. So it really is worth, the most important point, spend 5 minutes thinking about the topic and trying to think of these key words that you're using to describe your topic, and throw them into the library catalogue and Discover, okay, see the sorts of results you get. As I say, did you find much on this topic? Have you found much?
On Google Scholar there was a couple of books.
A couple of books, okay. Did they sum up what you were being asked?
I didn't find any.
Something
it was
like
more about just the money energy.
Okay.
And big concept with it.
So did you have to read loads of pages to get a small amount of information that you actually needed?
It's like spread out.
Yeah, and that's what you get from using Google and other things. But there are ways to use Google more efficiently, and we'll look at that in a second. Okay, so that's an example of an ebook just there. Now you see the whole book is dedicated to that, chapter after chapter, to your topic. If I just go back to the library homepage here, we do have this search option here as well called Search Discover. Now Search Discover, this tab here, Books and eBooks, we were searching the library catalogue, and that does what it says. Searches for books and electronic books. Okay? Search Discover searches for books, but also we have access to lots of journals and journal articles in the library as well, and other types of reports and information. This button here, Discover, searches across books, but also journal articles as well for your topic. Okay? Now it's not, we call it a quick and dirty search in the library, and what that means is it actually covers about 50% of what we have available to you in the library. There are other resources that in future, when we see you again in the future, we look at those other sources, and databases, if any of you have heard of those sorts of titles and names. Okay? But Search Discover is a good, quick and easy way to get insight into your topic. If you like, consider it the library's Google. Okay? The library's version of Google. So if we click on Search Discover and type in, let's just see, food, packaging, yeah? And you're looking at maybe the health, yes? Any words that you think sum up our topic. And we'll type in those words we think summarise our topic, and we look at the results. It's found 57,000, so a bit like Google, it's far too many for us to handle. But the difference is, as we scroll down these results here, these results have already been selected, if you like, peer-reviewed because they're books that the library has access to, and they're journal articles as well. Journals that have been peer-reviewed, that was mentioned at the very beginning. Peer-reviewed, that they've gone through an editorial process. They've been looked at by other peers. So if somebody decides to write a book, okay, or a journal article, that can't be published in the journal of New Scientist or Science or Scientific American that Jeff held up until colleagues, other peers, other academics have approved it for quality and content. So it's gone through an evaluation process. Okay? Anybody can publish on the web. You know that. You use Google. So how can you trust the information that's there? And we'll look at things like that in just a second. So just look on this topic then, we can look at our results. And you can see here, the very first one, our food packaging and public health. And we can click on the View Online button here. And it'll take us through to a link to the full text. Now all of these are links to the full text of this article. And you can see it's from this journal, Environmental Health Perspectives. So if I click on one of the links here, hopefully it'll take us through to the full text of the article. Okay? So all of this is through Search and Discover. And we'll see what happens here. Okay. So what this has done, this has actually taken us through to the journal itself, not necessarily the article. Now, one or two of these links, if I just go back to so this makes sense, the Discover search here, we clicked on View Online, okay, and then it took us through to a page here with the online links. I clicked on full text via the publisher, okay, and now that actually took me to a page here. It's taken me to the electronic version of the journal. Here it is. But what I might need to do is make a note of the year, volume, part number in order to find it. Now I'm lazy, so I think, okay, I want to close that window. I want to go straight to the article. So I'll try one of these other links to see if it takes me straight to the article or not. Now I don't know whether it will or not, but let's just try one of these other links. It doesn't matter which link you click on, okay? And you can see this one here, it's taken me directly to the article. And if I want to look at the full text PDF, it's just here. Now often when you go through to the full text of the articles, you get the web version, the HTML version of the page, which means you're scrolling down, or you can click on PDF. The PDF version just means it will look exactly as it appeared in the original journal when it was published. So all the tables and the data and graphs will appear next to the text in the right place. Okay? It's also portable document format, PDF, so you can email it to yourself and save it. So here's a nice report here, and let's see what it says here. Can you all see that okay? Yeah? Scroll down. A history of benefits. Chemical exposures from packaging, etc. Room for improvement, packaging in the sea, and then gives you data and statistics on what's being done to address the environmental impacts, etc. Reusable, and a whole list of really useful references at the end. Other papers that we might want to look at, okay, that have been provided here, all peer-reviewed for quality and access. Okay. Honestly, if you were to read that, I suspect it's probably precisely what you're looking for. It looks as though it's been summed up nicely in an article. But it's the routes. The important thing is the routes we're taking to find this information. If I close these windows and go back to Discover, all we did, we clicked on the Discover button on the library catalogue, typed in our keywords, our search terms, and it lists the results here. On the left-hand side, notice there's a Refine Your Results column. So if you wanted to, you can refine your results by publication date, format, etc. Okay? Or even just journals. So it'll allow you to do a focused and structured search, and that's the difference. Okay? It's focused and structured to allow you to use your keywords to find the information. Is that okay for now? Jeff, did you want to talk about Google or Google Scholar?
Yeah, I just want to put this sort of smaller good. This one's come back to the cable part. And that's another interesting one. How many words for cable car can we think of? I mean, are there various words or whatever? I mean, I'm just very curious to see what we got on cable cars on Google, on Discovery. So I'm going to go back to the library homepage, and I'm going to Discover and put in cable car. I don't know, I've never done this before. I haven't come here prepared for this, so let's have a look. Let's have a look. Cable cars and transport. So this is how I would go about doing your project. So, increasing the capabilities of cable car for use in public transport. Is that what you're looking for? Have you seen that one before?
Yeah.
So, what I suggest to you, there's a fair bit of stuff there. You've got to type that in and have a look yourself, and then
So there's books, articles.
there's another way to, yeah, absolutely. There's another way to use Discover, and that's this box up here. You can search for anything, or you can search for articles, or you can just search the library catalogue. So you can filter it using that. You can also, you've also got these filters on the left-hand side. Don't forget that these either. That allows you to filter it in date, so you've got the most recent one first. So if you're only interested in the last 5 years, you've got to go, say, 2000 and where are we? 2018, 2013, 2013 to 2018, for example. But let's see, it allows you to do it, refine it in subject areas. So think of using these tools. There is also an advanced search thing here, where you can put cable car. This takes you through to the advanced search, and contains is exact. So you've got the exact text there, cable car and transport there. Well, cable car is a transport, do we need to put transport in? But you might be looking for a specific region. We could put London, see what it throws up there.
Does this include Avery?
It does,
Yeah.
yeah. It'll pick it through
Avery.
to the edge. Avery's part of the group. I won't go into it.
Yeah.
It's part of their skills. So it'll show those as well. So, but that's a very interesting question. I'll come on to that in a moment. So you can have a play around with that and see what. But on the subject of cable cars, what I would like to do is to include a map. Would you like a topographical map? Perhaps would. So we can get a map. We can go back to the library homepage, and we've got something which is brilliant. It's called Digimap. Have any of you come across Digimap before?
Yeah.
Have you been shown Digimap? Have you been? You could. Have you used it yet? I'll quickly, very, very quickly, do a very quick. So Digimap is available by the library databases. You won't get onto it through Google. You have to go through the library homepage. So once you've registered, you go. I would suggest using Ordnance Survey maps. Click on Rome, and you have to log in. It's a bit. I'll just show you how to make a very basic map here. So we're going to type in search Oxford. Search. And Headington Hill, that's what you want, isn't it?
So you can get a fairly large scale map, you know. Trying to find Headington Hill. That's it. I believe that's it. So we have. You can play around with this yourself. You can spend all day playing around with it. We've got map tools there. We've got annotation tools. And you can put in a straight line where the cable car is going to run from. And if you just do that, I've done it up and down as you can see here. And then you can just click on one of these measuring things and click on there, and it tells you the distance. You've also got these. You've also got a text box we can put in, put cable car in. There you are. You can change the fonts using these here for the text, and you can also add in trees and other things to annotate it. Now I want to print that out. I want to use that. You want to use that then in your project. You go to print, and if you're going to insert it into a Word document, you want to be saving it as a JPEG. You want to be selecting JPEG, or JPEG. And then generate print file, and then you can save that. If you don't mind using it on one sheet, well, you can save it as a PDF and have it printed out. So that's an image there. You can put it in Draw or one of those things and annotate it. But I'll show you what it looks like as a JPEG file. No. Where's it gone?
Well, most of the groups need to have drawings and plans. Show what their work is. So, I mean, Digimax is key. I know you've answered it before, but there's a lot of things you can do with Digimax to show quality. And we're working on now, if you want to retry, that's fine.
So I've got to make something that is an experiment.
Go back to the goal.
And that's an idea of what you end up with. That's quite clear. I've got to around that. So, going back to the library homepage, we have other databases, a whole list of different types of databases. And we have them for architecture, construction, all different subjects, health study. You can explore those. They're collections of databases, collections of journal articles, so you can be more specific. Rather than using Discover, you can go in and be specific. So I'm going to show you an example. If we go into architecture ones, we've got something called Avery here, which Maria was referring to, and Paola, so we can have a look at that. We've typed in cable cars there, see if it's got anything. Yeah, we've got quite a few in there. For this project, I would narrow it down to linked full text, because this will pick up print journals. It's an index, you see. You haven't got time to go rummaging through those, and some of those we might not have. So to keep it simple, I would do that. And then there's some information about a cable car. Did you hear about the proposed cable car in the Oxford Times recently? I would use that reference as well. So, right, now, I'm going to go back to Google. I'm going to go into Google now, and I'm going to put in I'm going to put in cable cars. London, say. Right, there's a lot there. Brings up Emirates. If we go into settings up here, I'm going to show you a little trick. Settings, advanced search. If you go down to domain name, site or domain, .gov.uk, and select PDF, and then that will filter all the random nonsense in Google. You'll just end up with some government publications, and these are usable as well. So think about that. That's one domain name, .gov.uk. We could go back to advanced settings. Again, put in another useful domain name. That's .ac.uk. And these are, by using .ac.uk, that's a domain name for universities. So these will be fairly good quality research papers as well. So there's a lot of useful stuff there I can see already for you to get something decent to back up your project. So you want to be. Is there anything else you want to?
Okay, can I just have your attention please? Okay, so Jeff just showed you how to use the advanced search function in Google. Did you all follow that? It's really important if you're going to use Google from now on. Okay? The reason being is that if I just go to Google here, and you can type in any type of search term, okay, you're able to limit your papers to PDF papers that we just looked at. The journal article, do you remember? Who goes to the trouble of creating a PDF document unless it's going to be an official report from an organisation or a journal article, which means it's appropriate to the level that you're at, you're studying now. Okay? You can also limit your search, as Jeff mentioned, to academic institutions in the UK, okay? Or government bodies, .gov.uk, or by using Google. Okay? Can I just check with the groups at the back here? Hi, you will be discussing your project at this time. But this is generic information that we use for you. So it is worth just Okay, guys, can I just have your attention, please? I know you're discussing your projects, and we'll get on with them in just a second. But this is generic information that we're really useful to all of you in the future. Okay, as Jeff just mentioned, it's a quick tip on using Google. Now, Jeff just used cable cars. Can anyone think of a topic? Any topic? Just see what happens. Sorry?
Energy storage.
You said that at the same time. Do you mind?
Energy storage.
Energy storage. Okay. So, energy storage. And I'll do a Google search. We find 23 million results just here. Okay? And we scroll down and we look at the results. One's Wikipedia. Energystorage.org, could be interesting. What I'm doing is I'm looking at these green URL, green internet addresses, and notice some of them will be .org, non-profit making organisation. Okay, let's scroll down. This is a news site. Okay, and we carry on scrolling down here. This is a report. So they're pretty good, some of these. The Guardian, newspaper articles, and we carry on going down. .co.uk. Company in the UK, okay? Nissan, car storage. Brooks.ac.uk, academic institution in the UK. So you're picking up clues by looking at the green results here, okay? But that's far too many results. So what we can do is go to settings here, go down to advanced search, and it remembers our search terms, okay? Brings them across on a search form. But if we just scroll down here, you have file type, any format. And you could also limit your search by date or time range. So if I select file format and choose PDF and click on search, I now have square brackets, PDF, at the beginning of all of my results. And as I said, who goes to the trouble of creating a PDF document unless it's an official report from an organisation or a journal article? In other words, we're looking at information that's more appropriate to the level that you're now at. You're in a professional working environment now, you're working with professionals and experts in their field. Okay? And they're here to take you through so that you can build up your knowledge and expertise too. Okay? So your quality of your work needs to be sufficient and at an appropriate level and quality for them to look at. Why? I'll give you a quick tip. Because your tutors, your lecturers, what they do for each of your essay topics and assignments, they just put it into Google and they look at the first 5 pages of results. And when they come to mark your work, if there are several of you doing the same sorts of topic, how interested do you think they're going to be when they're seeing the same papers all over again? And they know precisely how you find the information on the amount of effort you put in finding it. Okay? Not a good idea. I'm getting a bit confrontational and scary now, so I'm backing off. I don't mean to be. You're at kind of this level, it's an introduction to these resources. But trust me, when you get to your second year and third year, if you're going to stay on for that, you're going to need to do it this way and not rely on the other way. Why? Because they'll get you. Simple as that. And I'll leave it at that, okay, because I don't want to be confrontational. Okay, can I just say here, just 2 more minutes, is that alright? 120 seconds. So you have PDF documents here, and I could select any of these PDF documents, and you can see here, I now maybe have a report that might be more appropriate and at the appropriate level, but also it's nicely presented. So it's a quick and efficient way to find information. I could change this. Now I'll do something controversial here. Select PowerPoint and click on search. Notice the square brackets, PPT, before each one of these. So I could just select any of these. And you can see it's just opened the file here in the bottom left hand corner. And now I'll open the file. And if I just start a slideshow from the beginning. Okay, hello, my name is Bernard. I've come to talk to you today about energy storage. I spent months preparing this presentation to you guys on it. Okay, and all I'm doing is clicking the left-hand mouse button. Now, why am I showing you this? This is dangerous. Why? Because you all know about plagiarism and referencing, yes? Okay. PowerPoint slides, by definition, they're concise bullet point presentations, concisely presented information. So if you've got a topic that's very broad and you're not sure which elements, which parts to focus on, PowerPoint slides are a very good way of getting a quick overview of that topic, which helps you to decide which aspect you'd like to focus on in the future. In other words, you're saving time, okay? Helps you to make your decisions, okay? But beware, if you use these and then just submit it, you've heard, have any of you heard of Turnitin? Yeah. Okay, those of you that have, you know what it does. Okay, it's actually there for you, it's beneficial for you, it's meant to help you. But all I'm saying is that when you find this information, use it as a guide, okay, guidance. But also, if you do find a good slide, you can synthesize it, change it, and slant it in the way that's appropriate to answer your own questions. So you can use some of the information in it, present it in your own words and in your own way. Okay? That's the most important thing. Do not just lift it, copy it, nick it, whatever term you'd like to use, and just lift it and put it into your presentation. You can reference it correctly and say, this was taken from, and included into your presentation, 1 or 2 slides, as long as you make sure you reference it so that your tutor knows, okay, this is a slide taken, nicked, lifted from this slide. So you're being honest. It's also to do with academic honesty. Okay? Well, you could change it and make it your own, which is perfectly fine. If I press the escape button and close this, I'll go back to the Google here. Alright? So just a few tips, and as Jeff mentioned, you could always limit to PDF, and here under site and domain, do you notice we were looking at when we did a Google search and looked at the results, the green internet address, .org.ac.uk. So I could put here .gov.uk, for example. So now I'm searching for results, written by government organisations in the UK and their PDF documents. So now I may want to scroll down and have a look at these. That's an infographic, as it's stated there. So you can see, if you're doing this topic, as you just suggested, for your groups, yeah, you might want to look at this government report on energy storage, yeah, for your group. Is that all right? How long did that take me? 30 seconds. Why? Google, settings, advanced search. Please make use of it. It's there. Why? Because official sources that we'll be looking at, Library Catalogue and Discover, they're great at finding books and journals. And I'm going to put my hand up and be brutally honest here. Sometimes Google can be quite good at finding reports from organisations and other types of material that's really useful, but the library might not have, because no library in the world is big enough to hold all the materials that we need. Okay? I'm actually an environmental person, but I also do species and environmental and wildlife. Now, there isn't a library big enough in Oxford that can cover one book on each species on the planet. Do you know how many species there are? Over 4 billion. If you have one little book on each of those species, the students would come to me and say, "Oh, do you have a book on this?" And they name a rat or a beetle or whatever. Chances are the library's not going to have everything. But if you think and use the techniques that we've shown you today, you're going to find a lot of material on what you want. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about what they've seen or anything? Okay. Well, you've gone quiet, and it's a hot room.
Yeah.
So you can ask your question, and I'm going to stop now. And
Okay. Okay, great. So thank you so much. You can see how just changing a slight element in your search tool can change things. So we have 1 hour left, and I would like you to make best use of 2 librarians. Okay? So Richard is environmental science, and Jeff is planning, environmental science, design, architecture.
I'd cover water.
It covers everything, okay? And also the background research. They can see that if you're having trouble finding something, talk to them later. Okay? And Paula and I are going to do tutorials with you. Just to have your attention. The groups I'd like to meet with Paula are A1, E2, E5, and G7. Okay? And also, yeah, J10 as well. So you have 2 tasks now in the next hour. Meet with librarians and ask any questions you need. Okay? Or meet with Paula or I. Okay? And then before you go, please sign and register. Great. Thank you so much.